Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, good evening from wherever you are joining us from. Uh, this is this is another session of getting started with Microsoft Fabric, and we've been doing this for a couple of weeks, even months, and we've been trying to at least week on week, week in, week out, week in, week out. We've been bringing experts in the field who are knowledgeable about this product and we are like the fabric engineer, fabric evangelist, anyways, trying to preach the gospel of fabric, the application, in fact, the importance of it, the what it does, and how we think that it should be adopted, why we think it should be adopted, and why you need to learn it today. As anybody is interested in data, either as data analyst, data engineer, or even analytics engineer, this so we have been trying to look at different aspects of fabric, and today with me is no other person than Olajide Idowu. Olajide is an expert in the field. He has been in the field for years, and I know that my introduction might not even do justice to who he is. I know he will even tell us better about himself. Olajide is an expert Microsoft Fabric engineer, and he has worked on, in fact, he has hands-on experience using the tool. So he is one person that I know for sure that can uh, that has authority about this tool, and he will be leading us shortly on getting started with Microsoft Fabric, Geneva Analytics journey. In about 30, 45 minutes, he'll be showing us about how it works all together. And later on, Matthew will also talk about his journey using Microsoft Fabric. And if you're on this call or if you are still joining, please you can join with your real name so that we can call you, and feel free to raise your hand to ask any question at any point during this conversation. And like I said, we thank you to the community, the MCT Nigeria community, and we are super, super excited that you guys are here today, and those that will be watching on YouTube, you will learn one or two things. We're watching this video. Yeah. So without wasting much of our time, I would like to yield the floor to Olajide. Olajide, good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening once again. Confirm that you can hear me, just to be
Clearly,
sure.
clearly.
All right, I will share my screen now, and I
Thank you.
will be sharing my entire screen.
Right.
And I just did. Please let us confirm.
Yes, I can see it clearly. Yeah. I can
Okay.
see you.
All right, so I will minimize this on the side, and I will put this on projection mode, and so that we can get started.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so I didn't have any information before now that we've been doing this. So reason why I prepared getting started with it in a way just to simplify, excuse me, for anybody, right? So reason why I came up with this, and I will show you just what we want to do, right? Um, so before then, my name is Olajide Idowu, and let's confirm my audio is fine. I'm audible and my screen is visible.
Yes, audible. We can hear you clearly. Thank you.
All right, so my name is Olajide Idowu, and by privilege, I've been working for 17 years, and I'm also privileged to be Microsoft Valuable Professional, one of them, and I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. Um, I've worked in different sectors, but I wouldn't really do much introduction because we have a lot of things to do for you. So, I'm a data analyst and I'm also a trainer. I've been doing both for some time. So my focus on BI was more than 7 years ago. So Power BI was introduced in 2015. Power BI is 10 years this year. Of course, from there they then came up with fabrics, I mean, a lot of things. So our focus is to talk about this guy and I will then move to the next. So I put something there to say in this session, the objective is to introduce Microsoft Fabric platform and its, I mean, vision of unified analytics, then talk about some key components, then showcase, excuse me, how it simplifies data journey from ingestion to insight. And of course, my objective is also to inspire you to start exploring and implementing fabrics. So I'm not sure even we want to go to details, but I mean, in terms of all of this, I'll rather go into practical demo. But this is just to let you know what we want to do, right? The core concept and all. So meaning that I wouldn't take my time to explain this word for word. But since it's part of the agenda, I would just take a few seconds on the slide since it is recorded so that when people are watching later, they will be able to have an idea. So there are some core concepts about fabrics. So there are a lot of things within fabrics, right? And this is just to say what are those, well, what are some of the concepts within fabrics, right? And that's what I put here. Of course, there is one link, there is direct link, there's workspace, there's lakehouse, there is pipeline, there's notebook, there is data factory, and we have a couple of them. So when we talk about end-to-end maybe scenario, which I will be doing shortly, we want to ingest data. You can ingest data there are many ways to ingest data, right? There are many ways actually. Is there a question? Should I proceed? I'm sure my answer.
Yes, we can proceed.
All right. So storage and managing data with Lakehouse, then view the insight and dashboard with Power BI. And well, this is just to let you know why fabrics, right? So if you don't even know how to write code, you would also be able to use fabrics. All you have to do is to just understand what do I need to click, where do I have to go. So once you understand all of these things, you would also be able to use fabric. So I just put it here to say why you should use fabrics. Then getting started, what you need to know. So I put some things here, yeah. Thank God that since the host said that we have been looking at fabric for some time, so I believe that some sessions would have touched on this, how to access fabrics, signing up license bases, you get the points. And but for the record, just do something, I put there how to access fabrics via this, if you already have this account. All right, so that even if someone that has no knowledge or proud knowledge, when they watch this later, they will have an idea of okay, these are some of the things you have to do to ensure that you're able to access uh, Microsoft Fabrics. Okay, I also put here, just so you understand, because sometimes people ask questions to see what are what. I've seen people reach out to me that would ask, they want to get license for their company, what and what. So in a way, this will just kind of give them an idea of if I'm on free license, what do I have access to? If I have PPU, what do I have access to? If I have full SKUs, what do I have access to? Fabric full SKU. So, and these are some resource which we can benefit from. So I think that's all. Okay. So then I'll come to the main list. So interval, I will be asking, are we fine? Are we following? And just so that everything can like run smoothly. So the question would then be, are we fine? Can I proceed?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, I will do a simple walkthrough. So let me come to, let me close this. So let me come here. I have a document. In this document, I have some flats, but I have some data. But so let me use the limit. I have some things that look like Excel, but it is CSV. So what I want to do is, if I'm going to use fabrics, or if I'm going to do anything at all, I will need this guy to go and get data, meaning I need to ingest data. But if you remember from the slide I just showed, that there are some core concepts that you need to understand or that come with fabric. So one of them is that I must create a workspace. So let me be sure. I hope the way I'm standing is simple. Am I too fast? Are we fine? I will always ask just to be sure.
Yeah, I think we are fine. Because I
Okay.
can see nobody's interrupting. So
So I'll click this guy and let me give this a Niger, something like that. A Niger. So, and I will click on apply. So this is how to create a workspace. It's as simple as that. Now, if I create this workspace, there is nothing here yet. What do I need to do? I need to bring data here, but remember that Microsoft Fabric is a unified application, right? It's a unified application. So meaning that I will need to, I'm looking for the core concept. Good. So you'll see that there's what we call one lake, all right, which is kind of logical. Don't worry about the grammar. And we also have workspaces, and I just created the workspace. So what I want to do next would then be, I need to like create data storage because that workspace is just like a container, maybe just a placeholder. So let me come here and I will click on new item because if you look at my screen, there's nothing here yet. So I'll click on new item and I want something that has to do with storage. The guy called Lakehouse, store data for what? Organize query, store ingest data in an easily retrievable format, store big data number. So I'll click on Lakehouse. Let's give it a name. Let me just call it Niger, and I'll just click on create. What I'm trying to do is to make this simple, like as simple as anything for anyone. And I believe that if we follow this step, everyone will be fine. So I've created a lakehouse within the workspace. The name of the lakehouse is Niger. The name of the lakehouse is Niger, but it's inside a place called A Niger. So that place that is called Niger is the name of the workspace. So if I come to this workspace, the name of the workspace is A Niger, but inside of it, there is a lakehouse, which is called Niger. So when we create a lakehouse, two things would follow by default. There is what we call semantic model. But this semantic model is just a default one. And there's also what we call SQL analytics endpoint. So when you create this guy, these two guys will show up. So now there's a shortcut here instead of clicking to go back. So if I click this, excuse me, It will just take me to Niger because the name of the lake house is Niger. Now, remember that this lake house is storage. So meaning that there is nothing inside the storage now. So if you get a truck or a container and you did not put anything there, it's as empty as anything. So I need to then bring in something into this container. And I want to just use a simple one by uploading file. I'll click on this ellipsis and I'll come to upload and I'll say upload file. Now I would click here and it's taking me to this folder which I showed earlier, and I want to bring everything. I hold down shift and I'm selecting all, and I'll then say open. Now, in case this file is already existing within the workspace or any workspace or within this domain, should I override? Yes, I actually wanted to. Then I'll click on upload. Then the data set is here. But remember, this is raw. It's just like you want to cook beans. You will need to go and buy beans. And when you buy the beans, you cannot just put it in your pot immediately and put it on the gas. No, you will need to pick the beans in case there are things that, of course, that are not good for the body. Let me put it that way. And of course, you're also going to rinse it. You have to do a lot of, let's say, some cleanings before you can then say, okay, I think it's clean. I can then put it in the pot and on the gas. So my point is, this is raw data for now. And we have ingested data into the lakehouse. But this is raw data. So this data that we've ingested, we can start using them. What do we then need to do? We need to clean this data. We need to refine it to ensure it is fit for purpose. Remember that there are many ways of doing what I'm about to do, but I'm just following this simple way to make it easy. I can actually do whatever I want to do here, but I rather would want to step out of this. Maybe I just want to follow the sequence in a way. So if I go to, don't worry, the files are here already. And if I click, they are still in their raw form, like a comma separated value. So, and there could be a lot of things, right? So we cannot be showing this way. No. So I just wanted to show that. So I want to step out of this to say, okay, thank you. I have the raw data now. I just come here, but I don't have to come here though. But I just want to come here so that at least you can see the sequence of what I'm doing. Now, meaning that inside of this lakehouse, we already have raw data. But this raw data needs to be cleaned. Then what do we do? I want to call on a guy, the name of that guy, or what the guy does is for cleaning. But he's not the only one that cleans, though. All right. So I can say, okay, because I don't understand code. They just introduced me to Fabric, and they told me that anyone can use Fabrics without much code. And I say, oh yes, that's true. Okay, so what can I do? I say, okay, at least you don't want to write code. Search for a guy. Just type, though I can see it too, but I want to type. Let me type Chen. All right. So I see a guy there. I see some guys having the same Chen. I just type in, that's not the full name. So there is prepared data. So you know this data that I actually ingested, I want to clean it. I want to transform it. So if there are things that should not follow it, I want to use any of these, they do the same thing. So it's just that this is the first one that was released, and this is kind of more than this in a way, or maybe a new version of that. So I'll use this guy. So this is me talking like saying everything in a layman way. So when I click, the guy now said, okay, this is the name that I have by default, but give a name that is descriptive enough so that you will know. Let's say my Niger. I just want everything to be nothing really. So this one, if you want to enable like GitHub integration or the what we call development pipeline and all of that, this API. So, but if I want to, I just want to make this simple, I'll then click on create. Now, when I click on create, this guide that we call data flow gen 2, for people that have worked with Power BI desktop, there is what we call Power Query Editor. Power Query Editor is the kitchen of Power BI. When we say kitchen of Power BI, just picture what you do in the kitchen. The kitchen is where you wash your plates, you do the cooking and all of that you get. So Power Query is where all of those activities would happen. So the Power Query in the cloud, we can also see the name of Power Query. So that gen, whatever gen we call it, right, is actually Power Query in the cloud. But the name I gave it is my Niger. So I'm gonna call this guy. And the reason why I call this guy is to say I want this guy to clean the raw data that we have already ingested. So also remember, I said there are many ways that this same thing that I'm doing or everything that I've started doing, there are more than one way of doing it. But, so, and I say, okay, I don't need to go anywhere. Don't go again. Don't step outside of yourself. You are within this lake. You are within this place, this and workspace. And I have something already in the lake. So I need you to get something from another source, which is not outside of here. All I have to do, I can just scroll a bit. While I scroll, remember we have a guy. In case you just try, let me cancel. And I'll just refresh. So while I wait for this refresh to come up, what we did was to create a workspace. We gave it a name. This is the name of the workspace in Niger or Niger. After then, we create what we call data lake and we give it a name. This data lake, his name is Niger, which is inside a Niger. That's how you're saying it. That is inside a Niger. So we uploaded some flat files. And after then, we want to clean those files that we uploaded. We now went to look for a guy called data flow. When I click on data flow now say, give me a name, your own name. So I gave data flow my Niger. But data flow, this data flow is Power Query. So if I use Power BI Desktop, you understand what I mean. Or if I use Microsoft Excel, here in Excel, you also understand that. You are also familiar with the name Power Query and what it does. So I'm now asking this guy to say, okay, I need you to clean some data that I already have, right? Then I can say the guide that you want, you can say choose data source. The guides that you want to clean, you'll see them. So I click this and it's connecting to Niger. Remember that the name of the lake house is Niger. Let's just wait for this guy. And so when I also talk this way, is because most of the time when I'm working, that is how I actually, so I'm not, uh, I I will just talk as if I'm talking to, I relate this way. I'm not just saying it in here, that I relate with Excel, SQL, Arrow, Python, anything, so that even if I'm tired, there's somebody I'm talking to.
Yeah.
So I would just say, so what I'm trying to do is that this guy should go here and then you get, so he's now saying, okay, choose the data you want me to clean. So I will click this first one. If I have 100 data, I can't be checking my bank. I'll then hold down Shift key and then click the last one. So this way it has helped me to select all of this. And I'll then say create. I've clicked on create. I'm just waiting for the guy. Good to show up. So the data now, meaning that what has happened now is that data gateway left, sorry, data flow gen 2 has left to bring the data that you want to clean, but it didn't go outside of the workspace. is still within the workspace. It brought something from the lakehouse within this workspace. Now that we have this here, of course, the ideal thing is we say this guy is for cleaning, it's for transformation. So I can then start transforming. Now, if you look at what we have, this is not ideal. Row one is ought to be the header. What I can do, if I click this corner, I will see what I need. And if I also go some places, I will also still see what I need. If I come to transform because I actually want to transform, I'll still use first twice here. And if I also just click here, I will still see some of these things at the top. I'll see them. So I can stay anywhere. So I'm now saying, please remove the first row up because that looks like that is supposed to be the header. What other thing will I check? I will also check that the data type that is giving me is actually in harmony with what is there. So this is telling me that this is text, which is, of course, is text. And of course, this is text because text is for description. Numbers is for aggregation. So now this is fine. It is fit for purpose. So I'll go to, then I don't like the name channel. I could rename it from here, like, because this is no longer the raw data. I'm cleaning that raw data, and so I could actually do anything. I could transform it the way I want. But let's say the guy is still channel, but not just channel CSV. I press enter, and I also want to rename this and also clean this. So I want to use first row as header for this person. So I'll just click here and then say use first row as header. Are we fine? Everyone, are you fine? Just to be sure that everything is fine. I always ask just to be sure, right? Because sometimes internet or anything. So I will need responses just to be sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
So, so I've used that and then everything also looks good. So if I need to change anything, I really can change anything I want to change it. Let's say that is fine. So this name, I don't need this name. I just want this name. So I'll come here. I just would like to follow this way. So I can actually go. Nobody says there's no school of thought that say do this before this one in this place. So use first row as header. That is not the only thing I can do here. I can add some columns. I can use some functions to bring column from another place by using related. But this is just to keep it kind of simple for now. So because anything I'm doing right now, if you're like if you have zero knowledge, you will be able to once you watch this video, I mean for people that are not on the call, they will be follow this sequence and you will be fine. So everything looks okay. So I want to okay, I don't like this name. So I would also still call it promotion door because it's a promotion table. And okay, when I get to model, I will explain something. I wanted to mention it, but I'm not sure, but it's not for that. So let's call this. Oh, is there a question? I see a message pop up. I just want to be sure.
Yeah, it's me messaging you that 15 minutes over.
I, I have 15 minutes more, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All
Yes,
right then. I
yeah.
thought you, okay, so it's fine. So I won't be this slow then. So if I have 15 minutes, I've not done anything. So I'm going to change this guy. I'll change this to let me just use local. It's supposed to be date. So this is supposed to be date. And this should just give me English Nigeria, right? English Nigeria, English, English Nigeria. And I'll say, okay. So I won't do a lot of things then. I really wouldn't do as much as I plan to do. So let's say everything is fine. I've looked at the data type and it's fine. So let me come to zone and let me press enter. Right. So now that this is clean, I need to then send this back to where it's coming from, which means destination. But what I will quickly do, I'll just say, see, add this to destination, right? And where am I adding this to? I'm sending you back to this guy. So I'm waiting for, yeah. And I want you to bind everything, all the tables. Yeah, bind them, please. Thank you. So this time I'm not, don't worry, this is recorded. So I kind of have increased the pace a bit. All right. So believing that, oh, this, I didn't use this as first row, so it will have got my attention because I heard that I'm using, I have 15 minutes left. So,
No rush, no
um,
rush. Anyways, no rush. Just
so no, it's fine. I always want to keep to time. So whatever we can achieve, so that's fine by me. So
I'm
I will
actually
then
enjoying
say,
your pace as well.
thank you. Then I'll just say publish. So, okay. So, and this guy is now coming here, and you'll see that I can't do anything now because it's still driving. Of course, I don't want to alter anything. So let's just wait. It doesn't take time. So this is just saying it's publishing the clean data now into the letters into this workspace, right? Because this is the cleaner that we just use, right? Don't mind, I just want you to like, okay, so there's something cleaner, yes, but it is not something like that. So it's still, there's still work in progress. So that you see, let me come to refresh history. It's not done yet, that's why it's still not clickable. So you can see it's still in progress, just to show you. And not until the guide drop fully, I wouldn't have access to when did I look at this place, it's still showing that fresh in progress. So don't worry. Once it is done, this will be clickable. And I just want to show you. I don't want to do anything. I just wait for the guy. It actually doesn't take long, so no, let me check it. Oh, okay, good. Thank you. Well, just so you see, so if I go to properties, I would be able to, no, not properties for this.
refresh
I'm
history.
talking about this guy. No, it's refresh history, sorry. I go to refresh history. But normally, good. So this shows you that this is done. So I will just want to refresh over, so it's fine. Now that we have this data that is cleaned, if I go to my lake house, right, what do I need to do next? I will need to ensure that I'm able to access, let me push this guide to site. If you look at where my cursor is, I want to switch this to SQL endpoint. So it will go there shortly. Good. So these are the clean data. Did I say channel or channel? Okay, just don't worry. Okay, it's the channel. So just let it see. So, it's no longer looking like the raw one. So what can I quickly do here? Is it 10 minutes more, right? Confirm to me. Please
Yes,
confirm if it
please.
is 10 minutes. Okay, good. Awesome. So what do I want to do next that I have this? Of course, I could do a lot of things, but let's leave that. So here I'm going to write, I will just issue a few line of English that some people call code. But let me come here to model layout. Model layout is to say that, those tables, they have some things in common, right? I will need to ensure that there's what we call primary key to foreign key, meaning that there is a unique identifier, like my matric number. And if I visit library, like many times, my matric number will appear as many times as I visit library based on the library record, but I'm still one student in the school. So if they say what is the relationship between this student and library, it will be this student, which is one student, to the number of times he has visited library. All right. So in a way, that's just saying I will need to establish relationship using primary key, which is a unique identifier, and then connect to foreign key. So that's one of the things we do in modeling, because if you then need something from another table, you need to be connected. There must be a relationship that exists for you to get something from that table. Don't mind me. Okay, let me just also push this. Let me just put this guys in. Because when I even, if I even do this the way it is, this guy is also smart. He was kind of, I don't want to be stretching. So permit me to just zoom this a bit. Let's say this guy should be, so there's what we also call dimension and fact. So dimension table is a table that describes or that has some things that can identify, let's say staff name, staff address or something. But we have a fact table. The fact table is one that has record of activities as they happen. This is me just using a layman. So if there is a table that has, oh, on so day, somebody ordered for this on so day, they return this on so day, that kind of table, it's a fact table. So what I need to do is to then say, okay, product key need to be connected to product key on this fact table. This is a fact table. So, and what I'm trying to achieve is what we call star schema. So, but do not worry about that. So I just know that this guy need to connect to. So I'll just left click on my mouse and then drag this channel key to channel key. So it's practically just saying that you want to connect, you want to establish a relationship from this table, which is sales. So, and we'll see that the ID of that channel appear many times. That's why it's a many to one. I'll just say yes, you're right. So that's it. So I will just replicate. So this is product key to product key. So if you on this call I don't even know how to write, so we can see that I've not written any code. I'm just like dragging and then dropping. So it is not in any way difficult. What you just need to master is just that you can see product promotion key here now. We'll connect to promotion key here. And I'll say save. Then state key to state key. And how you say yes, yes, yes. So now we have this, right? If I, for instance, just want to do, just to show the SQL endpoint part, I can also create a view. I have 5 minutes left, so don't worry. I just visualize something simply. Select, okay, I also want to create measures. And so I will just say select what? Select all. Select star means bring all, bring everything. So if I'm going to bring something, I must go somewhere to bring it from. Where are you bringing something? Okay, just give me something from channel. You see, as I type, this is showing. So I can say, okay, let me see what is there. By clicking on run, then it's displaying. So this confirms that you can actually use SQL within Microsoft Fabric. So this is, of course, if I had said you should only bring, let's say for instance, just don't bring the star. What I need is just the channel name. So when I say channel name is what I need, it's as good as just saying I just need one thing. So if I run this down, you will no longer see this two, you only see, can you see? So this is S squared, but some people would be running to say it's difficult or something. So it's not difficult. This is just to show this. Let me go back to now, in order for us to ensure I have 4 minutes to learn here, in order I could actually create a report directly from here, but I don't want to create a report directly, right?
I was
I
going to ask a
want,
question, but I didn't see where to
okay,
raise my hands up.
oh, go ahead, please. But I have 4 minutes
Yeah,
left.
yeah. So wanted us to just have a try by putting a semicolon behind the channel after from.
Oh, if you still do that, it's okay. I've done it.
Then you can run.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's still
so so TSQL is kind of different then.
You get the point. So you do, yeah, there are some things that once you forget, so it's easier, right, than Oracle.
No, no, all of them kind of borrow the same SQL
Of
or
course, it is
SQL
Because I
SQL,
have
so
language.
it's just like toothpaste, and you now have your own. We call it my.
Yes, and
I
they'll
have
just
my. I call it
change a
Orabi.
little syntax here and there.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Correct.
All
All
right,
right.
cool.
Okay. I have 3 minutes more. Forgive me. But everyone just know that I can go on and be scripting and then create what I call
maybe
view.
I
Yes?
like the maybe Matthew, can we extend it a bit?
No, just if I'm at talk, 5 minutes max. I'm not even sure. It's
No,
just,
I
this is
think.
just,
Okay,
go
go on.
ahead.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that I wish that I can't wish anymore now that my session came first because what I had planned is kind of is a sequel to what you or a prequel to what you are having now, in the sense that I'm trying to just give an overview conversation, have a talk about the product
I
and what
get you.
it is and the benefits. Then we'll then go into the practical aspect of it. You get
And
what
you
I
still
mean?
you still come and say that. You know,
Yeah. So
okay.
I think it's fine either ways.
Okay. So
It's just
let
the
me
timing.
just don't worry, it's fine. So let me okay, because I need to do measures. So I also want to maximize. Let me go back to this guy. Okay, so if you look up everyone, if you're a first timer with all of this, if you look at everything I've done so far, it's not actually complex. Even the select, if you relate it, bring this from that. Go and bring that yellow ball. So that means like you must go somewhere to go and bring yellow ball. So don't see that as English language, really. But I want to, there's what we call measure. This is what I mean. Instead of, let me come to table. So if I come to this, which of the tables now? Let me just click on this. So if I come to, or let me enable sales. Let me show sales because it's the fact table. So if, well, let me remove this guy. I don't need it. Let me also, so this is sales. So if I come to sales, right, you'll see that it has um all these numbers, right? So it's a fact table. So if I instead of okay, there's what we call optimization of data model or minimizing data model size, meaning that um instead of adding many columns, you see that I didn't add columns when I was in that. It's not that I can't add, but because I also want to optimize or minimize data model size, I'll just use measure to do aggregation. Okay, so in case someone is saying what is measure, measure doesn't occupy space like columns, it doesn't sit on a table like this. You will just be able to use it because it will just be by the side. Let's just say by the side. So if I go to, let me refresh this again. Oh, what's this? Okay, hold on. Let me leave the guy. Come here. Yeah, fresh is fine. There is no problem. Just reload. Everything is fine. So I should be having additional 5 minutes, sorry, that you gave me. Not right now. So I've seen that this is 5 out of 5. Okay, so let's go to the model. Where's the model layout? Model layout from here. So what I'm trying to say, don't worry about this. So if I click this ellipses, right, you see I'm not saying something. I'm supposed to say something. But if I now I'm increasing this the pace, don't worry. So you see this guy called semantic model, right? Which come by default. Semantic model is actually the one that will give accommodation to the raw mat to the data set. So I want to put the thing inside, I want to put those clean data inside there. Not that I can't create a report from where I am, but if, of course, this is only for me in reality, right? So just know that there is nothing here yet. So I want to bring those guys into this. So how will I do that? So if I come back here, let's wait for this guy to show. Yeah. So let me just switch from it. So you will see this guy's already talking to you that, okay, this way ask this, that, go to somewhere. But let me just manually do this, right? So if I go to reporting, I'll then see what this guy is saying, manage something, right? And I'll come here. I'm practically selling this guy that it should help me include, but I don't want to say all. So let me just say DB, right? Don't worry, please, let me just do that one. So DB will mean all of those, tables, right? And some more things. So I have 4 minutes left. So don't worry, everyone. Whatever we can survey or survey, we'll tell them. So just to ensure it's fine, let me just refresh. Because sometimes when you want to look for the thing, you might be wondering, it's still trying to refresh behind the scene. And it will then look like, is it not here? So if I click this ellipsis, I should be saying, can you see my name measure? So I'm able to write measure. So when I click on name measure, I have 3 minutes, don't worry. I want to say this is going to be revenue. So I'll just type revenue or total sales revenue. Our revenue is a function of two things. Those
Yeah.
things are here. Revenue is a function of, ah, don't mind me, I'm trying to scroll now. Revenue is, you know what, let me use this one. Revenue is a function of unit price per one, and then, okay, no, let me just continue. So it's a function of two columns, all right? So there's a guy called SumX. There's a guy called Sum, but Sum will only be able to do one thing for me. He can only sum one thing. This guy can only sum one thing. But there's his senior brother or his friend, which is called SumX. So when you pick this guy, he asks you for two things basically. He will say, mention the table that give accommodation to. Don't mind me. This is me making it relatable. Mention the table that give accommodation to that guy. So it's not table. I will then type the name of the table. The name of the table that has all of this is sales. I'll put comma. You can see. So when I include comma, then I can begin to just mention directly by using square bracket right now. And then I can be able to say, okay, unit price shift 8. I have 2 minutes left. So unit price multiplied by QTY. QTY is other quantity. So I can just say enter. So I'll just only do this, right? So just know that there is a measure right now within this place, right? I can collapse these properties, so do not worry. So there is a measure already within this place, right? Look at it, which is called revenue. Okay, so that's one. So I have 1 more minute. So let me go back to, just know this is ready. So if I go back to SQL, right? Or if I just, okay, it's fine. Let's just go back to SQL. So there are some SQL that I've written before that I've not saved. I didn't want to open another one for real. So let's say I don't know this guy. So 1 minute, so it's fine. I'll just show this, but I will not finish it. So it's fine. So I want to create a view. There's something we call view. So I'll just say create in SQL, right? Create what? View. So, and when I say create view, I must give the view a name. So let's just say trans. Trans will mean transaction. Okay, now let me not put it this way. This will mean anything for another person. So let's just say sales details, right? That is the name of these, and I'm going to just say as what, and I'll then say select. When I do this, I'll be done. All right, select what, and I want to quickly use alias. I know I'm now using more than my time. This, well, of course, if you ask me to stop, I forget. I'll stop here. Other, I need other ID, comma. Okay, I think I'll just choose few things. I don't need too much. I need date. S dot dates. There's a column called dates. Let me tell you about dates. What is that? It's date key. So I just say s dot date key. I need money. I need that's revenue. A bit sort of. I just want to pick some things, right? Okay, I need channel name. Channel name, but this channel name is coming from, because I want to create a join. So channel name is coming from C. I could put a space. Channel name is coming from C, not from, there's no channel name on sales. Yeah. And yes, this is fine. S dot this, S dot this. So let's say I also need product name. Product name is coming from product. And I want to just use alias. That's PR. I can use PR. Then comma. Let's say I also want to put promotion name. And this function is coming from, let's say P for promotion. And let's say that's all that I need, just to, of course, where is this coming from? I would then say from from where? I'll then say from sales, and I'm declaring sales as, so let me put the alias so that normally I could just use space. I already use space for alias as S, right? I'll then say join because sales do not have everything. This channel name is not on sales. This product name is also not on sales. And this promotion is not sales, but this, of course, ID and date key is on that one. So I'll just say join channel, join channel, which is this. When you are joining it, join it as C because it's been declared as C. Join channel as C on what? On what they have in common. This is like the relation that I just did in that place. If you are going to do it in SQL, you have to use join. So join on what? Sales, meaning that look at sales. What does sales have in common? Or let me just type channel key, right? So if I type channel key now, but this channel key is coming from sales. I then say S dot. I'm sure you understand now that when this is equal to channel key, I'm deliberately typing this channel key, but this channel key is coming from channel. So I'll then say C dot channel. Because I've mentioned all of this, right? Okay, it's fine. I wanted to put the join what? Join products to PP. Okay, I said it should be PR. And on what do they have in common? On product key. So product key, and I will want to say, this is coming from, because I'm joining all of these guys to, I'm joining sales to them, or anyhow you see it. I'll then say product key. So, but this product key, I'm saying the one coming from PR. So then join one more. I joined 3 tables. So this is it, and it is promotion. Promotion is referred to as P, and on what? On promotion key. Promotion. Okay, since it's delaying, let me just type on S dot promotion key. Promotion key. So I would put this guy. Now we put this
Your
guy.
square bracket, yeah.
Then equal to what? This guy is coming from P because we declare promotion as P. Yes, this P dot, you see now, promotion key. So this way we are good. So let me execute this guy. Okay, let me look at the error. So I must have, don't worry,
On,
because I'm
promotion
rushing.
S dot promotion key.
Thank you. So, and that is what you get.
The key should be capital K.
Yeah,
That's
thank you. When you are rushing,
just take time.
so let me see now. So let's execute this. Run this now. Good.
Yeah.
So let me stop here. The next thing will just be to view. So thank you so much, because I've actually taken more than the time. So thank you, everyone. That will be all from my end.
Thank you so much, Olajide. I mean, I don't know if people on the call can just help me clap for him, just appreciating this thing. Thank you so much for this. You have done very, very well. Thank you for coming to support the community. We can't appreciate it enough. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I wish we can go more than this, but because we are time banded and we have Matthew to also accommodate. But of course, it's an ongoing thing, so it will continue to happen. So might have to continue from here and take it next time. I don't know if that's fine with you, Olajide.
Yes, if you notify me on time, because without exaggerating, I should be carrying my bag to pick the next flight. So just let me know. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will do that. Okay. So you can stop sharing your screen. That's fine. Largely, you can stop sharing your screen. Yeah. Cheers. So Matthew, I believe Matthew is already here. So we'll be
Yes,
having
yes.
Matthew. Yeah. Thank you so much, Matthew. Thank you for waiting on the call. Thank you. Thank you guys. So we're having Matthew. Matthew also will be taking us through some concepts in the next few minutes and about on still on Microsoft Fabric and he's an expert in the field also. He's an expert in the field. He's an expert. We're having loads of experts in the community to just to share one or two things with us, and so that everybody will gain speed through their knowledge. So without wasting much of our time, I would like to yield the floor to Matthew. Matthew, if you are ready, I'm ready.
Thank you very much, Tosin, for that brief introduction. And thank you, Olajide, for that insightful, practical, quick view. Obviously, it's more like a reminder for us to remember how to ensure we have some little monologues and proper description when we're trying to do self-coding or when you're working alone, it will always help that way. I really enjoyed the pace. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Matthew. Let me just share my screen now. Let me know if you can see my screen.
It's coming up.
It's coming up.
Is it still coming up?
It's
Okay.
easy.
Okay, so what I had in mind was just because obviously I really didn't get much of an insight into the kind of audience we'll be presenting to. But from my understanding of the community, I believe every one of us are data enthusiasts and we carry out different and various data activities in our works of life, like Jide has just rightfully shown us. And so I just wanted to give an overview and try to explain what Fabric is doing or the impact of Fabric in Microsoft Fabric in redefining data analytics and just give a talk generally, just a talk, just a conversation I intend to have. And thank God for the fact that Olajide has been able to take us through some practical getting started reviews, which makes a whole lot of sense. So what are we saying here? We're saying from chaos to clarity how Microsoft Fabric is redefining data analytics. And it's very important to look at that because for some of us, if I ask you here, like I really want to think about the last time, or I really want you to think about the last time you had to wait for a report. For those of us that are used to Power BI desktop, and you're not operating Power BI desktop from a redefined ecosystem like Microsoft Fabric. You're running Power BI desktop like a standalone application, and you click on the refresh button or maybe any other application that you have that is standalone, and you watch the spinning wheel. You watch the spinning wheel going. Maybe you go have a coffee while you're waiting for the dashboard to be loaded, or maybe in fact sometimes it does not even load at all. You get a break in between. So just now imagine going from there, what you have next about the actual cost of waiting that gives you, or that it is going to be a cost to you. Now imagine you are practically working as an healthcare analyst, for example, and you have to wait for critical patient data while life hangs in the balance, basically in trying to get this data out, or you're a city planner and you're waiting to understand the rising housing needs, and you're doing stuffs trying to even analyze some other cost of procurement and stuff like that. In those moments, what do you think about? Most of the time you're talking about delays that are just not only frustrating, but they are expensive and sometimes dangerous, like that we data analysts sometimes go through. And the truth is, in our world, right, and what we live in right now, our data-driven world, speed, accuracy, clarity aren't optional. You get what I mean? They are not really optional because they're actually very critical. You must, as an organization, you actually must have the ability to run data analytics across different systems, but at the same time, the ability of Microsoft Fabric to then make these fragmented systems or ecosystem into a single unified ecosystem is what makes Microsoft Fabric fantastic for us to go by. And yet you could look at it and say today, what exactly is Microsoft Fabric, right? I really want to talk about how Microsoft Fabric is changing that all fragmented tools, duplicated data, and complex handoffs, right? I want to talk about how Microsoft Fabric is changing that, turning the old chaos around data into clarity by creating a unified data platform that finally lives up to the promise of modern analytics. And that is what Microsoft Fabric is doing and is changing here. And we need to look at, I call this my this particular slide. I remember when I was trying to come up with the name for this slide, I said the data tower of Babel. And I don't know if we've got Christians on the call, but with this, you should have an idea of what I mean. Because and for my Muslim brothers or any other religion, this is actually a cue from the Bible, the Tower of Babel. And let's be honest, our data ecosystem is not really a nice place to be in, you know, and sometimes it can be a mess, to use a lack of other words. We have data engineers using Azure Data Factory. We have scientists on notebooks or in Synapse, or we have analysts on Power BI. We have business users trying to navigate Excel reports, all of them asking the same question, you know, from different systems with different answers. So that is why I call it the Tower of Babel, because everyone speaks data, but no one understands each other. This was kind of like the way it was initially before the system like Microsoft Fabric came into play, and there there is the governance part of it, even if everyone is speaking the same different data languages, but no one understands each other, which is fine. But then there is the data governance part of what we're saying. Data lives in multiple lakes, with shadow copies here and there, refreshing schedules, field pipelines, permission chaos. A senior manager somewhere wants to access a particular report but does not have the access to access it, or does not have the permission to access it. You're talking about data administrators trying to organize the workspaces, like the kind of workspace that Olajide created, talking about the Ninja workspace, for example. And if you look at that workspace, it still needs to be managed. You still need to have the administrator that looks out after that workspace, grants permissions to different reports and all that. And in doing all these things, every single time we try to solve this problem, we add another tool to it. But the problem isn't the tool, it is just the architecture. We are building skyscrapers with scaffolding, not structure. And that is what Microsoft Fabric gives us. And it's something we need to have a look at. When you have a unified structure like that of Microsoft Fabric, you know, this is where Microsoft Fabric really makes a difference. Not as just another tool, but a unified architecture. Let's break that down, Let's break that down. Microsoft Fabric brings together 6 powerful workloads into one software as a service platform. We have the Power BI for reporting. We have the Synapse for data analytics. We have Data Factory for pipelines, ETL pipelines. We have data activator for real-time triggers. We have notebooks for data science. And we have a new hero, One Lake. I think we must have seen a bit of that in play already. How that is possible to unify data in one singular storage, coming from different departments, coming from different units of the organization, using one singular unified data storage. And no more copies, no more having to, at least in this way, there's no more copies and no more having, is this the is this the latest one question? When someone asks you, please, is this the latest report? Please, can I have the latest report, please? When will I get the latest report and all that? That question is going to be over with is over with Microsoft Fabric, because what we are saying is we just have one single source of truth for everything we do. And that sounds too good to be true. But let me introduce you to what um, direct lake mode is all about. Direct lake itself is Power BI's new capability to query live data directly from one lake. Uh, and that is very important, because without importing, without refreshing, the result is lightning fast dashboards with real-time data, no waiting. And that is exactly what Direct One Lake in Power BI gives you. In technical terms, what I'm just saying is like giving an analyst a Formula One engine, but without needing to be a mechanic. We will just, as analysts, maybe, okay, initially, I think when I was introducing myself, I'm a certified fabric analytical engineer. So as analysts, core analysts as well, this is something that we cherish. And if we were to ask ourselves what exactly then is the real impact or the real world impact of of Microsoft Fabric, then I think it's better for me to share a story. Right, in a recent healthcare project, we used Microsoft Fabric to streamline data from patient records. We're talking about lab results, clinical outcomes across systems and formats. Different systems, different formats, and you know how clinical data can be. It's very, 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 very complex sometimes. And what we did in this project is using one lake shortcuts. We connected data silos without moving a single byte. With Direct Lake, clinicians were viewing live dashboards, showing risks, showing risk scores, admission trends. They were able to see things in real time, medication lapses. For example, a patient is meant to receive his or her medication over a period of time at a particular frequency and all that. You know, Clinicians could see if that is being done in real time. And that really helped us to continuously improve that whole system with Microsoft Fabric. Instead of clinicians to be waiting for days for IT reports, they had answers in seconds. In one case, it helped flag an early warning that avoid hospital readmission. But this isn't just about healthcare. You see, it's across different industries. We're talking about, for example, in retail, Microsoft Fabric is helping teams unify customer journeys from POS system, that's point of sale systems, to web analytics. In local governments, we're talking about planners are combining real-time traffic, sensor data, budgeting models in one place. At the same time, we're looking at in education, student outcomes, attendance data to at least attract life to support intervention. And as we all know it, in education, attendance data is very important before it leads to referrals. It's no longer about building pipelines. It's about empowering everyone to act on data. Because now data is at the forefront. You have a system that is unified, and everyone focuses less on the tech bit of it, saying IT this, when are we getting our report? IT that, IT this, intelligence team this, intelligence team that. They are able to get a report instantly when they need it in real time. And the data culture shift is really happening. You see, Microsoft Fabric isn't just the only technology. It is an actual cultural culture shift in terms of data analytics. And it's very important for us to look at that and say, how do we go from here? Because when data is unified, you have, let me say, when data is unified, accessible, and governed properly, we're talking about having team collaborations better. You're talking about decisions are faster, insights are trustworthy because you have a single source of truth, and you have built-in governance within Microsoft purview as well, and innovation becomes scalable. You could start small, or you could innovate into a scalable point. And yet governance is built in with Microsoft Fabric. You can track data lineage, apply security policies, stay compliant. I think all from just within Microsoft Fabric, you can do all these things. And for IT, this means a whole lot to us in the reporting department or intelligence department or whichever department or wherever department data sits in an organization, that this means that we're having fewer tickets. For leadership, it means better KPIs. For example, the particular practical view that we just had from Olajide, creating a particular measure, a revenue measure that was not initially in there. That is a better KPI for for management to see, and that can be turned on schedule, that can be seen in real time once they need it. And remember, these data are coming from various places. One from the sales department, one from the marketing department, all coming from all different places. But management can see key measures like revenue directly in real time, and that is very important. So I think for me, I would say what's next from here. You know, it's time to move forward, to be honest. And as an analytical engineer myself, Microsoft Certified Analytical Engineer, and other analytical platforms like Google and AWS, I've worked across different stacks. And what I've realized is this, that Microsoft Fabric isn't just Microsoft's answer to modern data problems. You know, it's actually reimagination of what enterprise analytics should feel like, where everything is all connected in one ecosystem, unified, seamless, and empowering. It is really time for us to stop the duct tape on data systems together. Back then, just like you do some things on Excel in one department, you duct tape it, kind of using that word, and you then try to put it into Power BI, and you try to duct tape it again in Power BI. Then you go into, is a whole lot. I think it's time to put a stop to the duct taping data systems together, and it's time for us to move from chaos to actual um to actual clarity. Let's move from chaos to clarity. And I think that will be all from my end. And let me know if anyone have any questions at this point.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much for that, Matthew. Thank you for the speed, right, and for the clarity, right. I understand that, in fact, this makes a lot of impact because the two sessions kind of rub up on each other. Yeah. even though I mean, we ought to have done this earlier and now Olajide, but I think it even make it more relatable. See that coming from the practical side of things, and you're now having a summary to everything, how it actually works and why it should be appreciated. The understanding it to the depth of it about what Microsoft Fabric is all about as a unified system that has gone beyond just ordinary tool that's become necessity for any data stack. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much once again to Olajide. Thank you for the justice, even though we rushed you. But we are very, very sorry. We are very, very sorry. We were working within tight schedule, so that is the reason why we're sorry about that. And thank you so much once again. So anybody comments in the chat, if you have any comments, any questions, please, this is the right time to ask questions. Yeah, if you want to ask anything at all from, we have question for Matthew or for Lajide. I wait to pick up the questions now. Anything that is not clear or maybe trying to understand. Okay. Yeah, I've got a question here. I think it should be for Matthew. So can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Right. So let me read it out here. So I'm starting out as okay. So I'm just starting out as data analyst, trying to understand Excel, Power BI, and I'm now hearing about Microsoft Fabric. What stack do you think I should pick up before coming to Microsoft Fabric, or do you think I can jump straight into Microsoft Fabric? Yeah.
That's a very nice question, and I think for me, my answer to that question would be you are starting already on the right on the right stack. If you are setting out, Excel actually is the basics for almost everything we do in analytics. The reason why I say that is Excel is made up of rows and tables or rows and columns. If you understand your rows and columns, it will be a very good building block going forward. And from what the individual that asked the question is saying is they are already going towards Excel, Power BI, and I think that is the way to go. Once you're done with Power BI, then you could understand further and then go into Fabric. And with that, Fabric then gives you a whole lot more that will then encapsulate whatever knowledge you've gotten or gained over time from Power BI. But starting off, I would just suggest you learn the rudiments, have a good foundation, and move all the way up to Fabric.
Yep. I believe that's clear enough. So I think I have just two questions for. I've just received just two questions. I don't know if other ones will pop in while this. So I think this is, okay, let me just push it to Olajide because the person is asking about SQL and R. Okay, so I am okay. I'm a bit familiar with Microsoft Fabric, but very weak with SQL and a bit strong with Python. Do you think I have? Do you think I have? Do you think I have the? Do you think I have the chance? Let me get what you're saying. But I think what he's trying to ask is that so he he has good knowledge of Python to some extent, but very not doing well yet in SQL, right? And right, trying to understand or working with notebook in Microsoft Fabric. He's saying, is he kind of disadvantaged, or do I need does this person only need to go through SQL first?
Okay, so he really doesn't have to, because these fabrics that we are talking about, it has all of these applications embedded within it. I'm sure that, Mr. Matthew actually said a lot of things, and that was detailed enough. Maybe if anyone listened to it, I followed it, I didn't stand up, I was just. So the point is that he has knowledge of Python. He can write that within Fabric, right? There is notebook inside that Fabric. I didn't just go there. So because if you say you are using Python, so Python is kind of a group of library. Let me put it that way. So the point is that it is an advantage. It is not a disadvantage. So that would be my answer. I've answered correctly.
Yeah, I think that would be my approach also. Because um, either way, either you have knowledge of either the two, SQL, Python, or have knowledge of one of them, or even if you don't have knowledge of any of them, there is still a way to work around it. Data flow is for you, where you can do so many things, do transformation, load your data, and get your report done. And if you can play around with SQL, it's good. You can play with Python, which is opportunity to use PySpark. I think that's fine. Yeah, Matthew.
Yeah, another thing I wanted to just add is Fabric also gives the opportunity for non-technical individuals to be part of the data community. And so if you have knowledge of Python on R, like Olajide said, it's an advantage. You can go into the platform and still use the notebook part of it and do your Python scripts rather than going to an IDE, maybe Anaconda or maybe Visual Studio. Then you start connecting strings here and there to bring what you want to do into that system. But once you do it within Fabric, you have everything you want to work on. The data is within Fabric. You just need to do your configurations properly, and you should be fine. So I think it's an advantage as well, like Nigeria said.
Okay, yeah, I received, yeah, I think this should be the last question. I'm not sure we'll be taking any more questions, but if anybody has any other question, you can drop it on the community group if you're on the community group, or you drop it, if you are watching this on YouTube, you can drop it in the comment section of the YouTube, and anyway you are watching it, right? Anyways, we'll be able to pick your questions from there. Even if you are getting it through a newsletter, you can uh, write reply to the email and pick it from there. Okay, so this is about, I think this is career wise. How do I prove my knowledge of fabric to potential employer? What so where can I keep my portfolio? And how do you keep portfolio?
Maybe Matthew wants to help us answer this, right? Or should I go ahead?
No, Olajide,
Yeah.
yes, please go ahead, Judy. We can just both contribute to the answer because I feel that this can be approached from a million and one ways, and it's going to be unique to different sphere. So you
Yeah.
can go ahead.
Okay. Um, well, if you are selling, forgive me, right? I use relatable things. If you are selling akara
Yeah.
and
Sorry to
you
cut
are
you though.
telling, sorry?
Sorry to cut you. I was gonna say you keep saying sorry you're using relatable terms, but I kind of like it, and it's something I'm gonna take away from this
No,
discussion.
that's me. That's how I've been working, and that's how the flow. So if you are selling akara and you are just telling people that you are selling akara, and though the akara is sweet, but you are just telling people you are selling akara, but there is no show glass. You are not putting it where people will see, oh, the akara. Or when you are even making the akara, maybe you are doing video of the akara, the process. So anyways, the summary is that you can't say you have a knowledge of something and you are not visible. So
Yeah.
there are different platforms where you can put this. Don't worry, people can correct you, people can say this, that. That's why you are. The people that correct you today will still celebrate you tomorrow. But the point is that start from where you are. If it is LinkedIn you know how to use, be posting some things there, right? Then I would say this anyways. If you have been creating reports, you can have a storage, maybe OneDrive, where you can put some links, right? So that people can access it. And if you are not fully on Microsoft Fabric, right, you can always save your work, right? Maybe you want to export as PDF. Just ensure that you have something to show for people. When the opportunity comes, then you can showcase what you have, because those are some of the challenges people will reach out to say, okay, I'm trying to do this, but I need to put a folder. I don't know how to do portfolio. Please, if you Google, say I want to do XYZ portfolio today, you will see the step of creating portfolio without money, right? But if you don't even know how to do that at all, just have a folder maybe on your system where all of these things can be saved, or of course OneDrive, where you can have, so that when you are sharing it with people, but people also want to see without sharing. So I think you should make use of your social media account and just push something out so that people see. It is to do short, is it short they call it on YouTube, right? You just do that short, you will have recorded yourself, right? And the process will just keep pushing it there. That's what I've advised some people and it worked for them. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Matthew, let's hear from your.
Yeah. I think that covers everything. There's nothing else for me to say at this point because the analogy and the relatable example really worked. You can't tell someone you're good at something without them seeing what you're good at. So obviously, if you're just starting out and you are very good or you've acquired the skill, you just need to maybe do some, I won't say hackathons this time, but you could collaborate with other fellow um, analysts online to do certain projects, and you project yourself that you're part of the group that did that project. You just have to let people know that you've done it. And if you've got zero experience and you start out this way, you see, experience is not just by formal space alone. You could have done 5 different projects with different companies or different individuals. That still counts as experience, even though you don't have a contract saying you're employed 9 to 5. But those skills you've gained while working on those projects you are given by different organizations or your friend, no matter how small, it still counts as experience. And you need to let people know that if you're starting out, that I have done this, this is what I did. And if you have the skill, you need to display it. You need to people to see it. So there's nothing else. I don't know any other way. I think that's also been covered by Jide as well. You just need people to know exactly what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Thank you. Yeah, let me just add my own bit to it. I think that's the best way to show people about what you can do or your ability, especially if you're just starting out, anyways, is to um is to keep showing up. So I remember personally that when I started with Excel, Microsoft Excel, just to your uni then, I didn't have any formal experience like using it in a corporate organization, but I needed to prove that at a point in my life, I needed to prove that I've used it. So what I did was I self-learned, I learned everything. That's why, and I keep saying to people that who ask me how do I learn, I say there are millions or thousands, if not to exaggerate, thousands of YouTube videos which is very free that you can access, and you can build up yourself through that way. So what I did was I watched a couple of videos, I did some couple of practicals that I used some free data, basically understanding functions, doing few writing few formulas, functions, and the likes with Microsoft Excel. Then what I did next was I started training. I just started doing free trainings for people, like free training. So I'm just so trying to build community. That gives builds my confidence. So what I didn't try to do an high-end class, just basics, beginner sessions, and it worked for me. I was committing blunder, and that way, but at the same time, I was building myself because I think that's the only way I can keep encouraging myself to keep doing. And when the time came, right, I have so much to even to show that I've done this with a couple of people, and that way it keeps pushing me to even when I don't have that data analyst job, it keeps pushing me to learn more because I have you guys to teach also what I've learned. So yeah, I think with everything Matthew and Olajide have said, I think that's the way, honestly. I think that's the way. Keep showing up, keep showcasing your ability through every channel community that you've got. Use it. We are in a digital world where everybody is where everybody right can see each other's really. I mean, somehow. So it's okay to showcase your ability, your strength through that means, and don't just keep showing up. That's it. Yeah. So thank you so much. I think on this note we'll be closing for today. In fact, we shoot we overshoot our time a bit. Thank you so much to our guest. Thank you to Olajide Idowu. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Thank you for finding this time out of your tight schedules. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much. We hope we'll be able to. We also come to you again and again and again, but with good notice. We will give you good notice period. Thank you so much, Olajide. Matthew, thank you so much. I can't appreciate you enough, Matthew. Thank you for creating time. I mean, I've been trying to get hold of you for a long time. And thank you so much for finally coming around. Thank you so much for your availability this time around. And until next week, while we do it again, I would like to say my name is Tosin Ojo, and I'm being your host and the organizer of these events. And this is what we do every other week. I mean, this is our own way to support the community and keep building data community in our own little way. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for joining, and I will see you again next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Oh,
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah. Bye.
yes, bye. Thank you. I will reach out to you, Matthew. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you, please. All right. Cheers.
Thank you.